Well, hey everybody, welcome to the Omniverse Chronicles episode 5 of Masks. Before I pass it over to Landon, just a few things. The first one I want to point out is that the first Monday of July, we're going to start our next game, which is Crossroads Carnival. We had the session 0 for that the other day. And the thing I wanted to let you all know about is that when we visit these different towns and we either help them or hinder them, at the end of our time at that town, the apocalypse progresses and bad things happen, or we pull it back from the brink and salvation starts to happen. Each of those paths have two options. And normally at the end of the session, we know we have failed or we have succeeded, and we pick which option the world changes in the direction of. Instead of doing that, we're going to post a poll and we're going to let you pick. So we will post the poll at the end of the episode, and then Joe will get those results before the next week and adjust the story accordingly. So you will be deciding the good or bad thing that changes in our world as we go along. And then the other thing I want to mention is that last Saturday, we did a listen through of episode 1 with kind of like director's commentary, and we took questions from the Twitch audience. And we did it again. We're now on episode 2, and we're actually going to do that tomorrow for the Tuesday stream and the following Tuesday, because Saturdays aren't working out for us the next two. But we might shift back to Saturday after that because it worked out a lot. It worked out for a lot more people. But we're at least going to do the first story arc, so the first 6 episodes, and then we'll kind of see where it stands at that point. So if you missed the first 2 and you'd like to catch up on them, they are over on our YouTube channel, and we will be doing episode 3 tomorrow night. So I think with that, it's time to get back to masks.
Awesome. All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Landon. I'm our GM currently. We're playing Masks, a new. We're playing Masks, a New Generation, which is published by Magpie Games. Crossroads Carnivals is also actually published by Magpie Games as well. It's an Ashcan. So that's awesome. I'm excited. I'm definitely going to be tuning in for that stream as well. So make sure to stick around for that next one. It's a great game. Sorry, I'm going to stop plugging the next stream now. I'm just excited that that's coming up next. But Mask is a game about being a teenage superhero, but even more, it's about finding out who you are and kind of having superpowers and doing heroic things along the way. And our heroes are, just dealing with common everyday teenager issues like evil corporations, brainwashing, like all of the populace or something. Nothing to worry about here. So, with all of that said, let's go ahead and dive right in. So, this week's cover is equally split into 2 diagonal pieces. On the top left is a boardroom of Visionary Corporation, the window overlooking Halcyon City below. The whole room is bright and sparkling, as if not a bit of dust could be found. The chair at the head of the table is turned to face the window, its back to us, and we can see a hollow screen projecting plans for the city over the view from the chair. On the bottom right is a cluttered dark room in what looks like someone's attic. Oversight can be seen leaning over an older model laptop. There's another copy of her at a corkboard tacking up a picture of Nightmira with a red string leading somewhere. And yet another copy appears to be talking to someone off cover. Balancing the line between the 2 segments are our young heroes. Flashed across the bottom is the Omniverse Chronicles Masks, Issue 5, Walking a Theoretical Line. We open to our previously on blurb. There's art of Outlet with purple eyes. A sticky note is stuck next to it with a time and place in the same handwriting as that on the back of Oversight's cloak. So, does everyone want to remind us who they're playing and one thing they remember from last issue?
I am playing Vex, the teen teleporter, the younger brother of one of the city's big heroes, Outlet. And the thing that I remember from last issue, actually, my impulse is to go with something from Outlet, but actually the thing that sticks out to me the most is getting struck by lightning when trying to protect one of my teammates.
I am Synthesis, otherwise known as Harper Harris, and I am the Janus playbook, the teen with the secret identity and the double life. And speaking of that, the thing that I remember from last week's session is that I'm starting to get the idea that my brother knows my superhero identity, and we haven't talked about it yet, but we probably should at some point.
I am playing Codex Augury, who is the Nova playbook, and I am a math magician. And from the last issue, I think the thing I remember, I think Codex is proud to say that a couple of issues ago, a party inspired a new magic move that ended up being a pretty good attack against a vicious creature of darkness.
I am playing Sable, who is the Nomad playbook. And I remember last time messing up the train heist. Again, not heist. We weren't trying to rob it.
You kind of did, though. You kind of robbed the
We
train.
did do a heist. Well, we did
Kinda.
kind of a kidnapping.
Yeah, it was. We stole something. But we were trying to do the same fight against the Orator that we did the first time, and I didn't do great on that. And there was a storm, and we kind of messed up a little bit again. But we got the guy this time, just in a different way. So success.
All right. And we turn to our first page, which is the warehouse from the party, where your cargo that you stole from the heist or kidnapped or whatever you want to say, the Orator was left behind and told to stay put until he could be spoken to. And he has very politely hung around, has somehow talked a bunch of like there was a bunch of like trash and like pallets and stuff just laying around. This is an abandoned warehouse, and somehow made some long monologue to turn it into something akin to like a throne, basically. You have no clue how he did this while you all were gone. But when you get back to the warehouse, he's just like sitting on this, like playing around with like a ball that he found that someone had left. It's like a hacky sack, just like bouncing it off his elbows, like into the air. He like got rid of basically like the purple jacket and everything as much as he could. And it's just hanging out, waiting for y'all to come back.
How is he at hacky sack? Is he pretty good?
Oh yeah, he's pretty good.
Okay.
Well, that's right. We had an outfit change this time.
Hi there again.
Oh, hello. And he sits up and kind of like this was like, 7 or 8 feet off the ground because he is that type of person, and like just jumps off it and lands very gracefully on the ground.
Well, you're seeming to be in a little better shape.
A better mood, at least.
Fair.
So,
Uh,
what all do you remember about being at Visionary?
Well, since you broke me out, I suppose I owe you at least some answers. Well, after you, and he looks at Sable, so rudely took my necklace,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh, sure. I was taken in for processing alongside my accomplices. They were separated from me. I was taken to a different building than them. There was a very long, very boring interview where I talked and I talked and I talked, and they told me to stop talking, but I said, "You're interviewing me, isn't talking what you want me to do?" But no, they wanted direct answers, not long verbose monologue. Anyways, at some point they decided that they weren't going to get any answers out of me through their questions, which was probably the right call, if we're being honest. And something about like health check before they threw me in a cell to just slowly wither away and die because, villains don't get due process or anything like that. What are heroes if, at least not having any sense of legal authority that would actually like be decent. So they took me in for some sort of health review thing, took some blood samples, the usual, and then injected me with something that was supposedly supposed to be a tracker so that if I did escape, they could easily track me down. And then from there, they threw me into some sort of solitary cell, and I started having these auditory hallucinations, which isn't that weird. I've had auditory hallucinations before, but normally I can talk them down. But they weren't that type of auditory hallucination. And then at some point, I just kind of don't remember what happened after that.
Okay. So, yeah. Obviously, they injected you with more than what they said.
What did it look like?
Oh, good call.
How much is he inclined to just tell you? Oh no, how much is that information worth to you? My understanding is since they the whole weird get up and the necklace still not being where it should be, you didn't turn your stolen goods in, did you?
I can't say I know what you're talking about. What do you mean stolen? You're our stolen goods, right?
Yeah, I mean, by that entire sentiment, I think he's on to us. Like, yeah, we got you out. Clearly, we got you out of there. Okay? Like, we're not dragging you back. We're not gonna do that. Help us out, man. This is exhausting. This is confusing. We don't know what's going on. And just, we need to solve for X, and we need as many things as we can to do that. So, for the love of every god and every not god and everything that exists, every mathematical theory, every bit of emotion I have, please, please do the thing that you like to do the most and tell us something.
Roll to provoke someone,
So
please.
good.
I love it.
Okay. Now, see what my numbers are. Okay, here we go. This is going to be awesome. It wasn't terrible. 9.
We do have team in the pool, I believe. I can't quite. I gotta zoom out. There we go. We have 4 team in the pool. Someone
Maybe I'm
wants.
gonna go ahead and use one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody wants to help. I mean, someone wants to jump in. Bring it up to a 10. Otherwise, I get to choose something from the fun list, and I'm more than happy to choose something from the fun list.
Yeah, I will help out by adding I mean, at the very least it seems like they didn't put a tracker on you, considering you've been just hanging out here and no one's come to get you. We're on the same side, I think, or at least, well, leaning towards that.
Fine. I can see that you're at least trying to be decent individuals. I'll give you that, though you're working for the true scum of the universe.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. We're aware.
But only like technically though.
Yeah. And technicalities. Kind of like how I'm only technically a villain. Now.
Exactly.
Okay, so really you're just trying to get basically any and everything you can get out of Orator, right? About like what happened, what he remembers.
Yep.
So, when after the whole throw me in solitary thing and it was very dramatic. I could go on and on, but I'm sure that's not the part of the thing you want me to talk about, so I'll spare you at least that much. There was a doctor who would come in and check on me occasionally. They had, I don't know, some like purple thing going on here. It looked a bit like circuitry. And they would, do basic vitals, things like that. But when the hallucinations started, it was very similar to their voice that I was hearing. And at first it started very just subtle. It felt like prods in a direction. But as things continued, it went from being prods to demands and orders. And at some point, when they came in to check on me, it felt like I had lost most control over my autonomy. But it wasn't even so much that I'd lost control as much as if that push was given, then I was going to follow it and I was going to do what it wanted. And that was what I wanted to do. And of course, that was what I always wanted to do. That idea was there to begin with. It was like a muse that was pushing me, and instead of the muse letting me form my own words from there, the muse just used me to write them out themselves. And that's it felt like being in the back seat, really. But not always. Sometimes it was still me up front and up at the forefront. But of course, they're not going to let a villain have control of his body.
Okay. So it is sort of it's an advanced compulsion. It lets you do what you do best under the guise of their control. They are really at the control, but when they make it your idea, it feels natural. That's how they get them. That's horrifying.
If fancy magic fingers over here, and he gestures to Vex when he says that. Had it pulled whatever that was out of my head, I don't believe I would even be able to tell you that it wasn't my idea, because, I mean, clearly it was my idea to go into that hologram room and attack you all over again like you hadn't already wiped the floor with me once. I'm clearly the type of villain who doesn't know better than to repeat my own mistakes. I mean, obviously.
That is what happened the first time. And I look at Vex. How did you do that? What did you do?
There was something I could sense, like almost like another presence in there, and I just used my telepathic attack to push that out. Like I attacked it instead of the orator.
Which I am ever so very grateful for, my friend. Yeah. If you ever need anything. Yes. Illegal, that is.
Yeah, I assumed. The doctor that you saw with the circuitry, and I'm going to describe Dr. T. Tanner and see if that matches.
Yes, that does indeed sound like the individual. They didn't wear a name badge when they came in. I'm sure that was completely coincidental, not intentional at all, of course.
Yeah. So where exactly will you go now?
Well, I haven't quite decided yet. I wasn't really, close with the two that I was working with. They had approached me because they had a job they needed to do, and they felt that a third would be good to bring in, and that had happened. I'm not really working closely with anybody.
Wow, that kind of answers something, though, doesn't it?
So
there's a measure of. Oh, go ahead.
No, so Smash and Grab and Centipoint were the ones that planned to hit the Axion Terrace train.
Yes, I mean, don't get me wrong, it sounded like a grand old time. That's why I agreed to go along, but generally I don't hit Visionary that often, and the only reason I agreed to the train plan was because I could bail before we actually hit the terrace. Anyone who tries to hit the terrace is out of their mind.
Okay, so then, yeah, that is another thing that we might need to look into if we really think that they're manipulating us to be able to take out people that they know that we can, which one of or both of them is the one that was under their control, or was it really just a happy accident?
They're using
can't
villains
imagine.
as bait to get more villains.
Yeah. Yeah, pull in more villains to add. We use this term loosely. I need you to understand. You're doing the thing. You understand. But
Oh
yeah,
no, I am
exactly.
indeed a villain. It is my role to play on the stage, and I play it willingly.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
buddy.
Well, just bad taste in my mouth now. Point being, that's exactly right, Sable. Like,
It
recruit
makes
more.
sense.
Yeah.
They're good at avoiding getting caught. That's why they're able to do what they do. They know which jobs to take and which not to take. And if there's another person who has the idea of things that fall in line with what they want to do, why wouldn't they trust them?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I mean, there's plenty of reasons not to trust another villain. But, I mean, the job seemed stable enough. They had good proof on why it was going to work. They had layouts of the train. They had a whole time schedule. I didn't even know supposedly, it should have just been all civilians on that train. I don't know how they overlooked that the visionary vanguard was going to be on the train that day.
Because they were working for the Visionary Vanguard.
That was the plan.
They were literally working for us. How messed up is that?
Just...
We take you out, and the people see how necessary we are to protect civilians against the evils like you.
And they bag
none
one
of
more
them
person
know.
with abilities that they get now.
I'm
Here's my
hardly worth... Why me, though? I'm small fry. I ruin, like, theatrical productions, and yeah, occasionally I rob a bank. You have to maintain your lifestyle somehow, but I've never killed anyone. I'm not like, I don't know, the people that your brother takes out.
Yeah, but your powers, just because you personally don't overuse your powers, doesn't mean that if they took those powers and they gave it to someone else or put you under those controls, you would still be capable of intense shit.
Yeah.
Like, imagine yourself just at an airport, even speeding up planes that are trying to land, slowing down planes that are trying to take off.
You said it yourself. They made you think that the actions they wanted you to take were your idea in the first place. There's no limit to what they could make you think you want to do. With that much control.
The orator actually goes silent for a moment, which is actually probably the first time you've gotten the orator to go completely silent.
We've done it.
Like, he's always moving and talking a little bit, even when you're talking over him.
Something's bothering me about this that I can't put a finger on yet. And I literally think Codex is like eyes squeezed shut and just fingers on temples and just thinking hard while, yeah, whatever else happens here.
So what do we do now?
That's such a boring approach. I mean, ironically, it lacks vision.
What do you mean?
I mean, it's such a waste of powers. Like, why would you go and use this on something so plebeian? I could see why somebody like Caleb Childs would want to have basically an entire control of a bank of powers. I mean, he's terrible. I get it. I knew the kid back in, like, elementary school. But, like, seriously, it's just lacking all vision. I shouldn't be that surprised.
Would it make you feel better if maybe you were just a trial run?
That does not make me feel better.
And Vex knows that before saying it, but plays it dead.
Where did you get the necklace?
Oh, there's a whole, Yeah, no, he would say this offhand. Oh, there's just like a whole underground market for magical artifacts here in Halcyon City. It's like a whole thing. It's in the subways. It's kind of hard to find. You gotta know the right people, make the right connections. I'm sure your friend Codex knows all about it.
What?
I look at Codex.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
What? I'm sorry. What?
Do you not know about the market? How do you not know about the market?
What market? Is it a magic market? What market?
It's a magic
Tell me about the market.
What do you? There's a whole magical market that moves. It's in a liminal space. It exists under Halcyon City. It's where like all of the magical villains and heroes all go to congregate and like do trades and stuff.
Liminal space magic market.
Let's go. Let's go right now. Let's go right now.
Oh,
It's
we're so close to
it's
something.
really hard to find. It's probably a bad idea to do it right now, considering that, there was literally a giant magical attack on downtown Halcyon today. I don't think that's where you want to go.
That's it. That's what's messing with me right now. The structure is the same, right? Like these attacks, Visionary was literally there and in danger. But with you, they took you. There wasn't any other factor here. There wasn't any other villain. It was just this thing, and it got taken away. So what was this about? The structure of the process is the same, but it's missing pieces. Or pieces that I don't understand or I'm not seeing.
Maybe it was just a bigger scale. I mean, like, we think that they want people to think that we are necessary, right?
I guess. I mean, it's a pretty profound FU if, no offense, if your brother was there and we show him up, that's a big FU to the freelancers.
Yeah, because they wanted him to be there, right? He said he was working for them today.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Visionary
Guardians were
said
supposed
they-
to be there.
Paid them to be there.
So
Yeah,
not-
okay.
Not only are we saving Childs, but we are discrediting your brother and his team.
No. Visionary paid them to be there.
Oh, God, no. It's the same structure. It's the
What do you
same
mean?
algorithm. Oh, God.
What?
I think he literally, like, just sits flat down looking up at Vex after he said that.
What's going on?
But they were all fine when we left. Right? Like, did we stop it by sending the Nightmare away?
I mean, we saved everyone. Right?
Well, from the monster.
Oh. No, you don't.
I don't know. The algorithm is the same. It has the same amount. It has the same process.
How long were you held before they injected you with this, whatever it is?
I mean, I don't know, maybe a couple of hours, really. However long before they gave up on interviewing me, I would have given them, I don't know. Most people get really annoyed after about 20 minutes, but Visionary better train their people to kind of just tolerate it. So I would have given them about 2 to 3 hours.
Uh-huh.
Who do we check on?
How do we check on them?
Can you do the same thing again? Can you push out and see if there's something else there?
Maybe to the rest of the team, not to my brother.
Why?
Why not?
And I look at the orator. Just come here.
Do you want me to leave? I can leave. I'm more than happy to go ahead and get out of your hair.
I don't
I have
know.
plenty
We've
of things that I
done-
could be doing right about now.
Do we need anything else from?
How about
this is
this?
most important, but I and I look at Codex. I want to find this
The
market.
market.
Well,
As
yeah.
you're saying that, like, the orator just, like, waves their hand in the air, and, like, a piece of paper with, like, a magical rune appears on it, and they just, like, playing card, like, trick style, throw it at Codex. If you need me, you can find me.
Cool.
And then just start some dramatic monologue, and, like, the pallet takes off like that he's standing on takes off like a skateboard. It's great.
This man is so cool.
I love him. So glad I
Uh,
stole his necklace. I mean,
Man, I wonder what happened to that necklace.
he had a cool necklace. The one, yeah. I hope it's okay.
So there's a beat after he leaves. And I turn back to the rest of the group. If it's in outlet, I can't do anything about it.
Does he have a defense?
It's one of those family secret things. Our powers don't affect each other.
Oh.
His electricity doesn't do anything to me. My psychic attacks, probing, our bodies just absorb it.
Okay. Wow. Man, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's okay.
We don't even know if that's true. And if it is, then there's going to be a way to reverse it. I mean, Visionary is a bunch of assholes, but they wouldn't be so stupid as to not build in a back door into whatever they're doing to these people.
Yeah,
Maybe,
I mean, if we take out the source.
Yeah.
And maybe you're right. Maybe you can do it to the rest of his team, and having more people on our side who can help keep him from doing something that he doesn't really want to do.
Yeah.
Until we can help him.
Yeah, I mean, I can I can move him around. I can teleport us both, but I can't get into his head.
Yeah. Well, we don't have any idea if for sure they were affected at all. Again, we saw the structure, but we don't know that they completed the whole thing. It's possible that we forwarded it, but the fact that they sent us there when they wanted to send us there, it doesn't bode well, in my opinion. So, what do we check from here? Because if we go straight to check on them, it could be this whole team ready to stomp our asses into the ground, frankly.
Okay, so
sorry, go ahead.
Ugly conversation moment. You look at my brother's team and know that if I'm fighting him, it's just us punching each other, which doesn't really do anything. Who's trading with me? Who is fighting who on that team?
I can't fight Jinx. Her kind of magic is literally antithetical to my kind. It's like the polar opposites that have to exist to be able to hold the through line of magic that exists. Mine is, the reality. Hers is the space between. It is literally not understandable for a reason. I think kind of similar to you and your brother. I don't know that, well, I don't know that I can affect her, but I bet she would whoop my ass.
Vex, I think I could handle your brother.
Okay.
Mimic something that absorbs electricity. We'll take it from there.
Killjoy has a thing where they like negate powers, right?
Yeah.
I guess my not actually having powers might come in handy this time.
All right, so I guess that leaves you with momentum and me with Jinx.
Not ideal, but it's what we got.
I kind of feel like you got the short end of the stick here.
I appreciate your candor.
Before you all can like move to head out, go check on the Guardians, what have you, you get a message through like your Visionary Vanguard app communication, what have you, that basically amounts to CEO Caleb Childs is very appreciative that you saved his life today and has requested a meeting with all of you so that he can thank you in person. And like wants this meeting very shortly because he is the CEO and gets what he wants.
Okay.
Oh, if we miss this, they're gonna know something's up.
No, we don't miss it. We go in and we act like we saved him from something that was out of his control. Exactly
that's-
what they want us to think.
That's good. We play cocky.
The question is, what information do we try to get out of this? What can we ask right now while we're pretending like, yeah, we did it, we came in, we saved the day, we're badass? What can we get while they are assuming we're still unaware?
We can get brainwashed.
That's not exactly what I
That's
was.
not something we're gaining.
I know, but it's the possibility.
Yeah.
Can
I mean,
could you stop that?
I want to make sure we got, all of the,
I think
fair.
you're right. You're right though. He's right. He's right though. I don't think that that's what they would do because we are right where they want us to be, but it's a possibility. So maybe we have a contingency plan for if they do that, if they try to do that.
Codex, could you stop that somehow?
Stop us from being brainwashed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know how magic works. Can you brain magic somebody to be themselves?
I think I'd have to see exactly what's happening to know. Again, that's a big solve for X. Yeah, if I know exactly what's affecting, I can build something to mesh with or, essentially reverse polarize that. But I have to know what it is.
Yeah. This
So,
would be really
just, if we're going in to play cocky and we're literally waiting for an ambush, that's the way.
We gotta go to this meeting soon, but maybe there are some cool items
At the marketplace, I
this
would very much like to go to the
market-
marketplace.
that might help us, right?
Do we have
Yeah,
time
he
to do
just
both?
said we
You gotta
can't.
make
He said we
things.
can't go today.
He said it wouldn't be a good idea if we went because there was just a major magical attack in a public place.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. What if we don't look like ourselves? Can we do that?
We're
think it has
supposed
anything
to
to
meet.
do with-
He's supposed to
Yeah, I
meet
don't think it has to
us.
do with us. I think it has to do with the fact that the magical community is like in danger, up in arms right now because of a magical attack.
Well, they're probably wanting protection then, so I'm gonna go to the market.
Can we
Give it
please?
a try. I'm oh god.
But
I lay down next to Kodak.
That's just like, oh, I have an
I just lay down next to Kodak.
How
Sable
soon
down.
is this meeting? How much time do we have? An hour? Less than an hour?
Less than an hour.
Less than an hour?
Damn it. All right. Well, I just like put my hand on Codex's shoulder. We'll go afterwards.
Yeah, I know. And can we take a moment and talk about how did I not even know this existed? No one's invited me. No one's let me know.
Your parents
Okay.
never
No
told
one's
you?
No.
But you're not the most social. Like, who would have told you?
How did I not know? How have I not been invited?
I mean,
To
it's
something.
magic.
It's maybe
Whoa. So, yeah, okay. I
But
mean, I know
he said
people.
specifically it's a magic.
I know people.
Who are magic?
Yeah.
Who?
Codex. And I know other people.
That do magic?
Jinx.
I know Jinx.
Okay, so that's 2 people.
As you know, as far as I have a life outside of you guys. You don't know.
Okay, so we'll have to table that anyway because working theory, they're not going to invite the magician that is working for Visionary to come there. So that might be part of it. Or I'm putting that out in the world for the GM to use. One or the other.
Maybe you
know.
should ask the mom who got you a book about the math of black holes.
Dang it. So I think we go. I think we go sooner than later. Test the waters. Be ready to fight our way out. Oh, God.
Just pretend like we are proud to have done our jobs and saved him, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish there was something. Like, you're right. What are we trying to get out of them? But maybe there just isn't anything yet.
I mean, any information is good information. And even the baseline of they're just checking in on us to like get a baseline and make sure that we're still under their thumb is information. Because if they think that we're still doing this same job for them and bringing them in, essentially bringing them powers for them to whatever use, then they're going to keep us in the same role until they can't anymore. And then we're going to be the ones that are the X to solve for.
Or the next to be brainwashed.
Exactly. Or they start to brainwash us now, and we have an answer.
I mean, Dr. T, I think, definitely saw us maybe talking about, or at least gesturing about what we were going to do with the orator, and then Vex teleported him away. And we haven't had to explain that yet, because then the mall happened, but...
I'm pretty confident about that. Again, Sable, sorry, but that storm was powerful. That was all light and sound and clouds. I am confident that I covered us.
So then what do we say happened to the orator?
I mean,
We
don't
left
know.
the
Yeah,
simulation.
it was a
He
simulation.
wasn't real.
Okay.
We don't
Yeah.
know. We did exactly what we were told to do, and it all went according to plan.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, God, I'm going to mess it up. Okay, let's go.
Okay, let's go say hi to a celebrity.
All right. So we turn the page and we find ourselves in the boardroom from the cover. Surprise. I know that was very surprising.
We made it.
Just a friendly reminder, there's a great move called Pierce the Mask. I'm just throwing it out there. So, Vex, I'm assuming did you teleport into like the lobby or something? Because you probably didn't know exactly where to go, so you had to be like escorted from there.
Yeah.
All right. So like you got kind of directed from there, and Calum is waiting there for you all. And it was probably Dr. Tanner who brought you all back, and surprisingly, he just dismisses Dr. Tanner as like, oh, don't worry about it. I can handle a couple of teens. You go do your research. You have a job to do. Blah blah blah. Even though it's a Saturday, evidently, this is one of those companies like Apple. You just work all the time. And Caleb looks at all of you, and he's looking decent for someone who was just in a placing inferno collapsing building. And he's gotten big smile on his face, and this is the first time that you as the Vanguard have met Caleb. Even though the company sponsors you and supports you, you have never met the CEO for some reason. And he holds out his hand to probably Synthesis first, since we've established Synthesis as team leader, basically. And it's it's so great to finally meet all of you. I cannot thank you enough for your service today. I was truly worried that myself and so many others were going to be harmed, and with the amount of damage that downtown sustained, well, I don't want to think about what it would have been like if you all had not shown up.
I'll shake his hand. That's our job. We're happy to help. I'm so glad that you're okay, sir.
I think I sit down in a chair at this table, and I take another chair and pull it out as well, and put my boots up on it, and just say it was no big deal. That thing never stood a chance.
Yeah, and I am just I lean in and shake his hand, but then lean back against the wall and just cross my arms and watch.
I think I'm just standing as still as possible.
Caleb does not seem caught off guard by any of this. He has read all of your files. This is basically what he expected. And he gestures Synthesis for you to go ahead and sit down, since everybody else seems to have made themselves as comfortable as they're going to be. And there's snacks and stuff.
Excellent. Yeah. I will sit down, and I will steer Codex to sit down next to me.
I will get some snacks.
I'm shoveling snacks into my face for sure.
I'll put them in my pockets too.
And Caleb's moving to that head chair as he goes to sit down, and is at first when Dr. Tanner pitched the idea of the Visionary Vanguard to me, I wasn't quite behind it. I didn't quite see the purpose behind having the team, but seeing all of you in action today, I think I'm really starting to understand it. The four of you work really well as a team.
You're not wrong.
Using his influence, except for Sable, because he doesn't have influence over Sable, because Sable doesn't care what anyone thinks. To raise probably, I think he's a up superior, down mundane type of guy. You can always reject.
Yeah, I don't care what you think. I get to add +2 to my roll because of that fact. And what do you roll that with normally?
Just a flat 2d6.
Okay. Well, maybe I do care. That was a 6.
Ooh.
Maybe I do care what you think.
All right. So, when you check someone's influence, on a miss, their words hit you hard. Mark a condition, and the GM will adjust your labels. So he just complimented your teamwork. How you? Which I'm trying to remember. Did y'all really work that well as a team? I think you actually did do some decent teamwork. There was some good teamwork.
We're getting there.
Yeah.
Well, Vex disappeared, and then and then Synthesis got dragged up into the sky.
Oh yeah, you did freak out about the fire for a bit. How you feeling?
Yeah, I think it's got to be guilty.
All right.
Like that I wasn't there to see more of what was going on. And just guilty about my brother being there.
I also...
And then go ahead and do the superior up, mundane down.
Yeah.
I also want to try to reject this guy's influence.
All right. Flat 2d6, but you have insecure marked, so I think you have a -2.
Of course I do. It doesn't matter because that was boxcars, so that's a 10.
Nice.
Hey.
All right. So on a 10 plus, you get to choose 2 from the good list, clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. That no, you're not a good team. You don't work well together, but you can adjust that however you want. I'm open to interpretation on that. You can shift 1 label up and 1 label down, your choice, or cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them.
I definitely want to cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them. Who? I so badly want to clear a condition, but I also want to keep like this guy in our pocket a little bit, or just none the wiser. So I don't want to completely act out. So I think I'm going to shift 1 label up and 1 label down. I'll just roll with all those conditions, but it's good. It's good. It's all good. I'm
good.
fine. Don't worry about
No
it.
worries. It's fine. You gotta mark all 5. That's how you win masks.
Exactly. So I think I'm a little bit on edge, so I'm gonna shift my danger up, and I'm going to, I think, shift my, I think my mundane down.
All right, and Codex.
I think there's a part of me that's being very clinical about this. And I think the only way I think I'm going to pass that I'm hiding anything at all is to just go with what he's saying at every opportunity that it doesn't outwardly hurt me. So I think I just let them shift.
All right. Sounds good.
And that was superior up, mundane down.
Yes.
Okay.
Living on the edge, I'm sure.
Ooh,
I can't even see your
goodness.
labels, but I'm sure you're living on the edge.
Yes, sir. Ain't great. Okay.
All right. And Caleb continues on. When I first conceived a visionary corporation, I had ideas on how I wanted to help improve Halcyon, and I never really thought that it was going to get where it was today. And I can't believe that on one of the days of me launching one of my biggest innovations to help the city yet, that we would be attacked. I mean, truly, the villains in the city are outrageous.
That is the word for it, yes.
I mean, surely there was at least a danger of something happening, or else, I mean, the Guardians were hired to be there, weren't they? Or asked to be there?
And if you look statistically, really, at any large gathering, especially large announcements, anything that might have to do with law enforcement of any kind, supers, etc., they are far, 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 far more likely to be attacked by anyone with villainous intent if there's a big what to do about it.
That is all true. That all checks out.
Yes, the Guardians were hired to be there. There's no point in beating around the bush about that. I'm sure you heard that directly from the source. We were hoping that with their presence, since they are some of the most well-respected heroes in Halcyon, that nobody would dare to make a move. Truly, we are just trying to help Halcyon prosper from here. And I mean, there is, of course, some pushback from the government. They don't want too much private involvement. And I think that's part of why Dr. Tanner decided to propose that we begin to establish our own hero team. And I'm very proud to call you, the 4 of you, our founding supers.
Lucky us.
And I think that as he's saying all of this stuff about like, oh yeah, this is why we founded them, and we thought they would be there, would deter things from happening. I want to try to, from my spot in the back, just see if this rings true.
Yeah, would you like to roll to pierce the mask?
I would, now that he has lowered my mundane.
And you're angry,
And
unless that got
I'm
cleared
angry.
at some point.
Yeah, nope, I'm still angry. And I think I'm going to use a point of team selfishly
Ooh.
to give myself a boost later and a boost now.
All right. So how describe so when you use team selfishly, you get to shift your own labels after a roll. Say how your actions ignore or insult your teammates.
I think that oh boy. I think that I'm kind of in the back and I'm watching, and I step forward, and yeah, I had the impression that, my brother and his team being there would maybe kind of make it so that no one wanted to attack, and it's hard to know that for us because no one really knows our leader yet. And I think that like he doesn't mean it that way, but the way that it comes out is a comparison between synthesis and outlet.
Oh.
And just like how the name recognition of one person on the team could scare a villain away. And I don't think I'm thinking, yeah.
All right. So what does that bring you up to? I'm assuming that brought you up to a 7.
That's correct.
Okay. All right, you get to ask one question from the Pierce the Mask list.
I think it's, what are you really planning to do based off of the things that, they said they were doing, and why? What are they really planning to do?
So I think we we get a little bit of like these background drones of like Caleb going on and turning to synthesis about ways that we can work on your image without compromising your identity and things like that. A lot of attention has been suddenly put on synthesis in this conversation. And I think a couple of things kind of like catch your notice as like this is all happening. And I'm going to give you like the answer. I'm going to give you these couple of panels and tell you what that means, like meta basically.
Okay.
You see that cuz this is like the boardroom that's connected to his office basically. This is his private boardroom. He didn't clean it up super well before he brought you all in here. Who knows if that was intentional or not. And you've seen the files of like the Vision virus basically. So like you see some of those files are kind of like there to the side of where he's sitting on the boardroom. You see handwritten notes and like his pen sitting there with them on those files. So you're able to pick up like, a word here or there. You see notes about like this new what did I call it? The visionary nightlight that they just rolled out about how like that'll help like broaden the scope of the supercomputer. And then what really catches your eye is you notice that the edge of Caleb's shadow ripples ever so slightly. Like if you weren't standing there paying super, super close attention to him, you would just look right over it. It would look completely normal. But since you're focused in on him, like laser focused, it's like just ever so fuzzy. And you remember that when the core of the Nightmare got taken out, the shadow took a bit longer to fall apart.
Yeah. Okay.
So, Vision is actually Caleb Child's like brainchild.
Okay.
He is the driving force behind it. Dr. Tanner is just like the research scientist who's been like put in charge of all of it and stuff, but he's the one who came up with all of it. Basically, he is of the opinion that like public rule and like rule of the crowd's never going to work. And his long-term goal is to create something that's sort of like a very subtle hive mind. Not completely take people over, but implant these ideas into people so that they're nicer to each other, or that, they stop jaywalking and they actually use crosswalks, or they go and return their shopping carts where they belong, or they stop polluting, or stop speeding, or actually stop at stoplights. Make them think that this is all their idea. However, people are really bad about having that level of power. And in the process, he realized, hey, we could also just totally take over the whole supervillain market. So let's go ahead and do that while we're at it.
Mm.
Because if you have control over that, then you really have the city under your control.
Okay.
Also, he has shadow control powers.
Yeah.
And I think, like, as we come out of that focus, we get the end of, and I'm sure that, we could get, like, a photo shoot set up with, like, the Halcyon City highlight or something. I know that, like, that little reporter girl I was talking to today would probably be more than happy to do an interview with you. She seemed real keen to talk to me. I bet we could get your name out there. Like, a week tops, we could get you as recognized as Outlook. Yeah, would you like to be as recognized as an email?
Not that one.
We could get you as recognized as Outlet out here in the city proper.
Honestly, I'm just focused on doing my job, but if you think that would help, then sure, we can talk about it later.
I'll have my marketing people run some data and see what they think, and I'll have them get back to you.
Great. Sounds great.
After he says that, there's like, he doesn't have a pager. I don't know why I almost went to his pager going off. He has a very high-tech page.
You drug dealer?
He gets a fax, and it's very important.
His pager sprouts legs and crawls up and then taps him on the shoulder and whispers to him that he has a meeting.
That I could actually see happening. That seems like something he would do. No, yeah, he does get like he has basically kind of like a little visionary like implant thing, but you can still hear like it go off. And he like taps it, and then after a moment goes, I have another meeting that I need to be getting to, but thank you all so much for making time for me today. I really appreciate it, and I am really looking forward to our ongoing partnership.
Absolutely. Thank you for meeting with us, and we're all on behalf of the entire Visionary Vanguard. We're so happy that you are safe and that we got there in time.
Yeah, and I mean, anytime I get a chance to show up my brother, it's okay by me.
I understand that.
Do we salute or?
No, you can just walk out. It's fine.
And we vanish.
Where to?
Yeah, where do we end up?
Phenomenal question. Just
We're just gone.
continuously appearing around the globe.
Directly over a
This is our
volcano.
beach episode.
There is actually, let's pause for a second because there's something we can do because a scene just ended and we might be able to clear some conditions out of that scene. Because I know, so for angry, the condition to clear is to hurt someone or something, or hurt. I cannot do words today. So basically, one of the ways to clear conditions is that each of them have like a specific thing you can also do to clear them on top of being comforted and supported or a move and stuff. So to clear angry, you can hurt someone or break something important. Synthesis, are you feeling a little hurt from being thrown under the bus there?
Yeah, I am. If you could get this knife that you left in my back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then to clear guilty, you can make a sacrifice to absolve your guilt. Synthesis, do you feel like you made a bit of a sacrifice there?
A little bit.
By taking all that heat. Yeah. Yeah. All right, and then Insecure's foolhardy action. I don't think we've had any foolhardy action yet. Afraid's running from something difficult. Don't think we have that yet. But there's a couple of conditions we can get cleared, so
Okay.
get those off our board.
Great.
Cool. All right, so where are we going? We do still have a meeting with Oversight at some point later that I will make impending at a time when it's very convenient for the GM to make you have something pressing.
Yeah. I think instinctively I just take us back to our apparent new base, the party barn.
The party barn.
That is legitimately what we're calling it.
Yeah.
What the hell, Vex?
He designed it. This isn't like something below him and he's just the idiot running the show. He designed it. There was stuff I recognized on his desk. And his shadow was moving.
Like not, like in the weird way. Okay. Not great.
Like it seemed like it started out with good intent, but now it's just get both sides, good and evil, and just let it play out like we're all just living in a movie.
Good Lord. Okay. Okay, confirmed then. Awesome. Good work. Confirmed. We're dealing with a meta at his level. We still have no way to know from that what to do about your brother and his team.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to like fight something.
Synthesis has quite a scowl right now. See, I'm picking up on social cues.
Yeah,
I'm
good.
like nudging Sable.
I go, yeah, it's very subtle. You did a great job picking that up. Never would have seen that one. Good job, bud.
Trying.
You're doing great.
I don't know, Vex. How do we have any hope of dealing with the Guardians when the leader of this team is so minor and inconsequential compared to Outlet?
Yep.
I was trying to distract him. The whole diamond thing, I thought thick skin.
Oh. Wrong answer, bud.
You know, sometimes in situations like this, people say that they're sorry.
Ooh. I'm looking at these moves. Oh no. Oh no.
We're actually engaged with words.
I know. Oh. I didn't. Of course, like I wouldn't follow you if I thought that you were lesser than my brother. And I know that I still didn't say that I'm sorry.
Yep, still didn't.
I go over to the keg and I start to pour drink. And I drink it. I'm sorry. I thought, doesn't matter what I thought. I'm sorry.
I accept your apology. It seems a little less sincere since you had to get drunk to say it.
No, I thought this was a fact-finding mission. And
I thought it was too, and now apparently I have to do photo shoots and interviews and help boost my image.
right, which means you'll be closer.
Closer
We'll
to
be in
what?
the mix to the people doing the things.
Yeah,
that we're
closer to
trying
getting mind controlled by Visionary. Lucky me.
We're not going to let that happen. We know better, and we're not going to let that happen.
I think I take Codex's arm and I just step back with him a little bit. I'm just like, this isn't for us.
Yeah.
Listen, you all said you wanted to get something out of that meeting. I got a lot of somethings out of that meeting.
Yeah, but we still have to be a team, Vex.
Yeah.
You said it yourself. If the Guardians are compromised, there's nothing that you can do about Outlet. You need the rest of us, and we need to know that you have our backs.
You're the leader.
Yeah, I am. And I'm telling you to shape the hell up.
I just
And
did
not
the thing
embarrass
that
me
none
in
of you
front
can
of
figure
someone
out how to
else.
do. I got information, and you're bitching at me because you got your feelings hurt? What intel did you walk away from?
I would
I
have.
got something from that meeting.
Look, I know that you're having a really bad day, but my brother was at that mall too, and you don't see me taking it out on other people.
When you reveal a vulnerability or weakness. Because you literally just admitted to having a brother. You just told a secret about yourself.
Yep. Oh my
Jesus.
God, Landon, your face.
I'm like, I know we're
Amazing.
coming up on a move. We're coming up on a move. I know we are.
You were poised, crouched, ready. That finger point.
Yeah.
It's just
You did it. You did the thing.
on a hair trigger.
So good.
Oh. So what happens when I do that?
Yes.
All right, yeah, I gotta go look at your move because I don't know off the top of my head. I just know that's the trigger. Because this is our first team move like this. Okay.
Whew.
Okay,
I
so
love this stuff.
yeah, I say these are one of my favorites. So the team moves are really core to the issues of the playbook. The Janus has one that's most of them have this trigger about when you share a vulnerability or weakness with someone, which is kind of happened definitely within the course of this conversation, I would say. So when you share a vulnerability or weakness with someone, tell them a secret about who you really are. Synthesis just, hey, I have a brother who was there today. That definitely sounds like a secret about who she really is. You give them influence and shift your mundane up and your masks labeled down.
Great.
So, Vex has influence over synthesis again.
I think when she shouts that, I'm sorry, I didn't know you had a brother.
Yeah, he's just a kid. But
Is he okay?
yeah, he's fine. But I don't know. It's seeing him that might have been one of the reasons why I got so freaked out in that fight, but I still tried to keep it together.
I don't know that this is the best time for this. frankly don't know when it's the best time to say anything. But maybe that's part of the issue, is that we don't necessarily know a lot about you. And if we're gonna be your team, maybe we need to crack some things open so that we can all be on the same page. If we're gonna work together and be a team that can trust each other at any given moment, something like knowing your little brother was there could have changed the landscape of what we did back there. Just a thought.
I know. But my family isn't, I mean, they're just normal. They're not, I don't have a super...
you know what?
What?
No, stop. You don't have to do this. She doesn't need to tell us anything. We can have secrets. That's fine. We can trust each other and still have secrets. You don't have to do this. You don't have to tell us anything else. You obviously keep this stuff secret for a reason. This stuff is dangerous. We all know that. It isn't about knowing everything about one another to be able to keep each other safe in these scenarios, but Synthesis is right. We have to be more aware of the things that we say in these situations, because it wasn't just about getting information, it was about keeping us under the radar. And now she's kind of got a spotlight on her.
How do we stay under the radar? We're their team.
Under their radar. So they think that we're still just doing what they want us to do. But without all of the focus being on us.
I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. I'm with Codex. Like, if you want to have secrets, that's fine, but you can't use them as ammunition against me.
What do you want to know?
I don't.
Great.
But lashing out at me because your brother was there, we didn't know you had a brother. How could we have done anything about that? How could we have helped you in that situation if we don't know?
You didn't have to do anything. I handled it.
I could have literally touched him and put him into safety. That's what I do.
We don't have to talk about this anymore. What do we do next?
Okay, I don't know how, but we have to check on the other team. Somehow we have to check on them. We have to see, we have to know. And I think it can't be Outlet. Because again, if your powers can't touch him, how are we going to know for sure?
Yeah.
I might be able to do something about that, but obviously nothing that I do is particularly subtle. So we'd have to get one of the other ones alone, or we have to get Outlet, or we have to get you, Vex, close to one of them.
X knows one of their sisters.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's the one that you... Oh, no. Oh
This day
no.
just keeps getting fucking better.
Um,
And I'm
Jinx did
trying to
say
examine my arm where I have washed the phone number away, looking to see if it's still scratched in there.
Jinx also did say that she wanted to hang out or something. Oh god, I'm gonna have a heart attack. Oh god. Oh god.
I think I give Codex a little like punch on the arm. Man, think about how impressed she's gonna be when you rescue her from being brainwashed.
Yeah.
That's so true.
That's
That's a
true.
way better option.
Yeah.
Talk about a meet cute.
Yeah.
That'll be good. That'll be good. Oh, is the air thin? The air feels really thin here. The air conditioner kick on?
You got this, bud. All right, so how do we approach this?
We gotta find them. We gotta let's check the base. Let's check their base. Let's see if any of them went back to their base. If they're not at the base, maybe they are at the visionary facility getting checked over because of smoke, in smoke inhalation and
It's true. We could go by the base, say that we were just checking to make sure that they were all okay. You know?
Yeah.
I like it.
Let's go. And I will take us there.
All right, do you teleport directly into the base or do you teleport outside of the base? Very important question.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I mean, last time.
You were invited last time. You were not invited this time.
Yeah, that's true.
I know Vex might just teleport in. That's completely, but I just need to know for how this
Yeah,
scene happens.
I think because none of them reacted when I teleported in, I think that is probably what I normally do. Like when we arrived to help with the box, none of them reacted to me appearing in the room because it was kind of like, oh yeah. So I think that it's into that same room.
When you appear in with everybody, it's pretty quiet in there. And you see Jinx over by the door. Like her hand is on the door. She was like in the process of leaving. And she stops just because she heard the teleportation. And she like turns around and is like, "Oh, what are all of you do you need the base for something?"
No, we just wanted to check on all of you, see if you were okay from this afternoon.
Well, Outlet already got discharged from Halcyon City or HCH, like just basically the downtown hospital. He was fine when they did the check over. Momentum got out of there, no problem, of course, and who knows where Killjoy is right now. I can't keep a track of him half the time. So probably fine.
Nudging Codex.
But you're okay. Obviously, you're here. You're okay. You look okay. You look good.
She looks down. She's just wearing like jeans and like a baggy sweatshirt, and she has like a purse, like and it's like one of those kind of like hippie bags like thrown over her shoulder that has a bunch of like reusable shopping bags shoved in it, and she's like, "Thanks." I think.
I mean, because like you don't look, like no smoke inhalation.
Oh no, I was able to mostly. I made a bubble.
Oh, nice. Hey, do you know anything about this magic market?
Oh, I was actually going there.
Can we come? I mean, can we come? I mean,
Roll to
would you?
provoke.
Okay. What is this with? Superior? Okay. Okay. Eight.
Okay, so on a 7 to 9, they can instead choose one from the fun list. Which I need to pull up my fun list. They stumble, you take +1 forward. The air, you gain a critical opportunity. They overreact, you gain influence over them. She like makes a little bit of a face, and it's just kind of like, I mean, like Codex, no problem, because like he has the magic and can therefore like protect himself against all of the magical weirdness. But I'm like a bit more. I mean, okay, you might be okay just because you have the whole gravity thing going on.
Yeah.
Because just gravity and magic, sometimes it's weird. Yeah, I could probably bring you along, but I don't know about those two. And she points at Synthesis and Vex. So she's airing, you are gaining a critical opportunity. And Codex, by extension.
Yeah, I think I just had a back and forth in my head of like, I want to go, and then it's like, oh wait, we're trying to figure out if she's possessed. But I want to go. But like, we're trying to figure out if she's possessed right now. But also, I want to go.
Yeah, let's do that. And Vex, Synth, if you want to just, check on your brother, make sure he's good now that he's out and is getting rest.
I am giving Codex the biggest, like, please don't leave me alone with Vex eyes.
All right.
I mean, maybe, she just said the other teammates, she was sure that they were probably fine. But maybe one of you can double check on them. Synthesis, maybe you could do that while Vex goes checks on Outlet.
Are you all worried about something? Like, we're all fine. Like, everybody's walking, nobody has any power loss going on, like, nobody has any smoking, like, y'all got us out of there fine. Nobody even has, like, I mean, yeah, Momentum has a couple of bruises, but Momentum always has a couple of bruises. He's running into things all the time.
Yeah, no, it's just that was the first time us being out with another team there. You just go, Synthesis and I will figure it out.
Are you sure? Because, like, I can, like, it can wait. I don't have to go do this tonight, like...
No, go. They've been dying to see it ever since they heard about it when you said it a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Okay, if you say so. All right, come on. And she turns around and just, like, gestures for Sable and Codex to follow her.
Yes.
Have
And
fun.
I'll follow.
I lean into Codex like, I'm really sorry for being the third wheel here, but I like can't not go. You know that, right?
You leave me, I'll kill you.
I will definitely stay by your side as long as I don't have to leave just to go look at something really cool right away. But then I'll be back. It'll be fine. You'll be fine. We'll be fine. This is gonna be so cool. I can't wait.
Yeah.
So, like, after this ends, like, Jinx turns around and she starts floating. And so, like, she's still, like, moving, but, like, not looking where she's going at all. And she's like, okay, so I'm guessing neither of you have ever been to the magic market before, right?
No.
Nah, it's the first time.
All right, so some ground rules. First, do not look at the guy with the, like, giant tree head. Just don't look at him. Just look down. Just, you can buy stuff from him, but if you do not look at him. It's a bad idea.
Yep.
Okay.
Got it.
All right, rule number 2. And she just starts going down this list as she's leading you all on this, like, weird walk down into the subways, and it's confusing. And it's a long list that you're probably not going to remember all of them of. But some of them are basic, like, hey, don't follow the lights. Because you should never follow the lights. That's, like, basic in every mythology.
Yeah.
I feel like some of this I'm probably somewhat familiar with, like even if I haven't been to this like market, just being on different planets and worlds.
Some of the things you're like, oh, that's definitely alien. Yeah, that's not magic, that's alien. You're like, oh yeah, that's from this sector. It's just hanging out down there. It's nothing to worry about. Vex and Synthesis. Vex, you realize after those two get pulled off that you don't know how long they're going to be gone, so there's a good chance they're also going to meet that meeting with Oversight. And I'm not sure if you ever actually told them about that meeting with Oversight either.
I think, like, just unaware, I turned to Synthesis. Do you think cell phones work in the magic market?
I don't know. I've never been inside of a magical liminal space. Probably not.
Probably not. Well, the good news is if they don't come back in time, there is something we could do.
Okay, what?
I got a time and a place to meet with... I just lost the name.
Oversight.
Oversight, but to meet with Oversight.
And it's good news that half of our team won't be there now?
No, but good news that it won't just be you and me standing in awkward silence.
Yeah. I agree.
I really thought that was gonna... No, I didn't. Where would you like to go?
I don't know. When is this meeting? Is it not for a little bit?
Yeah, it's later tonight.
Oh. I don't know. Want to get some food or something?
Sure. What's your favorite kind of food?
Ramen.
Okay. And I hold up my hand.
I'll take it.
And I will teleport us to a very good ramen place overseas.
Holy shit!
What?
You can, I guess, I never thought about it because I've only ever seen you like teleport like across this. What's the limit of this? Could you like go to like the moon or something?
I've never like tried to leave the... My theory is that because my brother works off of electricity, that my teleportation is actually connected to like the magnetic poles, that's how I travel around the Earth. So I actually don't know what would happen if I tried to do it outside of Earth or like to the moon or something. But I've never been to the moon. I mean, I can see the moon. Now I'm gonna have to, like, whenever I see the moon, I'm gonna have to actively will myself not to. You know how sometimes you're like, oh, don't do that thing that you know you shouldn't do.
Yes, Edgar Allan Poe called it the imp of the perverse.
Yes. Now I'm gonna look at the moon and be like, oh, I wonder if I could make it to the moon, and then I'm gonna be on the moon and my blood's gonna freeze.
I'm sorry, I've done
So
that too.
if you wake up tomorrow and I'm like opening the door to the ramen place and you find that I'm dead and my blood is frozen, do know that my apology was sincere. I really, like, yeah, I threw you under the bus, but it really was I thought that it was acceptable collateral damage, and that sounds awful saying it out loud, but coping mechanisms when your brother's famous, you don't care who gets hurt.
That was good. Did you write that yourself?
I did just now.
Yeah?
The imp helped me compose it.
You have a real gift for that.
Yeah.
Look, it's fine. I don't... I understand that you were using it as a tactic. I didn't like feeling like you thought less of me or didn't like me.
That's certainly not the issue. I am sorry.
You're getting much better at apologies once you know, it might just be just a muscle. We have to exercise more often.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it more often. It's like a leg day. I don't really like it, but it's necessary.
Vex, roll to comfort or support synthesis, and you get a +1 because you have influence over her.
That is an 11.
Awesome. So I do feel like she's already opened, like, again, this is one of those that kind of happened over the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So on a hit, they hear you, they mark potential, clear a condition, or shift labels if they open up to you. And then on a 10+, you can also add a team to the pool or clear a condition yourself.
I think I'm gonna clear a condition.
All right.
I think that my guilt was being supercharged in addition to what was going on, and then the using her as a distraction.
And then synthesis.
I think I'm feeling a little less insecure.
Yay. All right. And then we turn the page and we're in some weird liminal space. Like, it's weird because you're like walking through the subway tunnels, and for 1 minute you're just like walking along the subway tracks, and you walk through part and it like shimmers, and then you're in this like, it's all lit by like floating orange and pink and like green like magical lanterns basically. It's like this big cavernous space, and it's basically a whole city under the city, but you come out right into the market. So the orator undersold this 100%. So did Jinx. So did everyone who's talked to you about this. There's actually the whole magical city under Halcyon. But most magical denizens just come from the market, so everyone just calls it the magic market.
I slowly raise a hand for a high five from Sable.
I give it just like a super high five, and it's like, let's just fucking stay here. Right? We live here now.
Oh, that almost pulled me in just like the lights would. Wow, that is tempting.
Not supposed to.
Don't
Yeah.
follow lights.
Jinx, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Is it like a faux pas sort of if I sort of put out a magical feeler just to kind of get an idea of the essence of this place? Nothing invasive, more just like a, magical goggles.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna be like, as long as it's not invasive, you're probably gonna be fine. Now, like that happens because some people just have like those sort of fields anyways. Just be careful.
In that case, I would love to charge my burn if possible.
Yes, go ahead and roll to charge burn.
Okay. With 2 freaking conditions that I did not need to roll. That would be a 13.
All right, so hold 3.
And so then I think I would like to instantly, and as like sort of quickly as I can, like as part of charging that burn and then releasing, I would love to see if I could possibly spend a burn for elemental awareness to see if I can tell if Jinx has been affected by this mind control situation.
All right. What condition are you going to mark for elemental awareness?
I think I feel a little guilty about this. Because I just asked her about, like, I don't want to be invasive, and then I'm kind of betraying that a little bit, even though it's not, I'm not trying to get anything else from her. That's still a little not great.
Yeah, and I think how this works, it's still not super invasive, but it's definitely pushing a little more than just a magical feel, because this is something that like you wouldn't be able to tell just by like a surface sort of glance. Because I mean, this isn't the first time you've met Jinx. You're at least familiar with like her magical signature. And so she's basically, you all came in kind of on like a road that's going on like a downward incline. So she had already started walking, gliding, whatever she does. It depends on her mood. She kind of like skip glides. Who knows? She's doesn't make sense half the time. So you push a little bit harder past that magical signature, and you feel like a little bit of something recoil from you as you do. Just enough that like there's something else under there. So yes, it doesn't seem like it has like a hold though, but there's something in there.
Okay. Darn. Um, all right, I think I have to sit on that for the moment because she's right here. So I think we just follow along with her for the moment.
All right, so you're just following her along down into the market?
Yeah, I just want to see like what all is this literally. I assume that there's a lot of actual magical stuff to buy, but is there also just market stuff? Like,
Oh yeah, there's also just market stuff. Jinx is here buying groceries. Why buy your groceries from normal Halcyon when you can go down but also, that's because also she's like buying herbs that you can't find in regular, and like picks up like mandrake root and like random stuff like that. Like some of it's stuff that you can't normally buy. But yeah,
it's the Magic Market City Farmer Market.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is exactly, and like it is. It's like it's on that main street, but it's permanent. So there's like all these permanent stalls, but there's also actual shops and stuff. So you'll go from like one shop that is like, look at all these cursed rings and like shields and swords, and hey, you could sell your soul to a devil here. To the next shop that's like, look at my beautiful rutabagas. And wouldn't you like a delicious bite of cabbage? So it really is just all over the place, but notably, like, it seems like everyone who is here has some type of, like, either they're a magical based creature, like, there's a lot of people who have, like, wings or tails or something like that. Or they are a magic user. So, there's like a lot of like people who are dressed very stereotypically wizardy. And then, there's a lot of like people in their early 20s who are all like goth punk, I'm so cool. But also totally like clearly wizards. So there's like that very bit of like, there's just a lot of magic off this place. Like Sable, even you can feel it being down here just because of like how much energy is being put off. But also you notice that like your graph pack kind of like pushes it all away from you a little bit.
Okay.
Are there any cool like clothing shops?
Of course there's a cool clothing shop. You can't come down here and there not be a cool clothing shop.
I think I have to dart into one pretty quickly. I don't think I'm in there long, but I do come out with a small bag.
Nice.
Yeah, I think if we can just kind of step away from Jinx for a second. Like I think if he is gonna go into somewhere and is like, oh, I'll be right back, I think I'm like, oh no, I'll come with you. I want to see everything that this place has.
Oh sure, yeah.
Just want to like kind of pull him aside, like, I'm sorry, like I know we were supposed to find out like what was up with her first, but like she was already coming here. Also, I think it'll be a good idea to let them have like a little bit longer together. I'm hoping that like if he can see how upset she is, he'll realize how much he was missing the point. And
No, you're right. I mean, they'll either talk it out or they'll kill each other, and either way, we'll find out when we get back.
he's got good intentions, and I know he'll figure it out, but there's no way we could go into a fight with them being the way they were.
That's true. Oh my god, she's infected. What am I thinking?
What?
She's infected. When I did my thing, that's the whole point.
Oh.
Did you see? I sort of lied.
You were checking to see You were checking to see if she was mind controlled.
Yeah.
My God,
So,
you're
but
a genius.
thank you. No one says that. Okay, but
No
so
one says that?
no, they're like, oh,
You
he's
do
look at
math
him.
for fun.
You want
Okay,
to
so
roll
anyway,
to comfort or support Codex? I feel like you just
Sure.
comforted and supported Codex.
Sure.
And you get a +1 to that because you have influence over Codex.
Excellent. Okay, that's with mundane.
Yes.
Okay. Bloop bloop bloop. Mundane. Ooh. And a +1 will put me at a bright shiny -1.
Love. You love to see it.
Ooh, okay. Well, this isn't gonna be good because that was a 1. And I rolled a 6, so 6.
Ooh.
Or 5, I guess.
All right. That's okay. That's okay. That'll be a special surprise for later.
oh
Oh.
no.
Yikes.
All right. Yeah, so just anyway, the point is that it's in there. Whatever it is, it's in there, but it hasn't I don't know, coalesced, gotten a hold. I don't know. I don't know the best word. But it started. The parasite has been entered into the bloodstream, so to speak. So we know one for sure. If she is, I mean, we have to assume the others were, right?
It makes sense. And I mean, didn't the order say something about like it started out really subtle?
Yeah,
Maybe it'll be easier to push out at the. I mean, he had no problem with him, right?
that's a
Vex was
good
able to just
point.
be like, I see it and it's gone, so maybe it'll be easier this time.
Yeah, maybe. You know what I wonder? Do cell phones work down here?
Hmm.
I'm
When
gonna
you
pull.
pull your cell phone out, the screen is completely scrambled.
Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. Magic and tech don't. Well, yeah, okay. Um. So we have the answer, at least to that. I don't think I can push this out. I mean, I guess we could try, but I don't know if I should tell her now.
I mean, I think this may be another instance of let's take advantage of the time that we have down here. But as far as we are supposed to know, everything is normal and fine, right?
Yeah. Because if we tell her and they have some connection to this, they might know we know. You know?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't think we're in any position to fight together right now until they can sort through their shit, and we need Vex for this.
Right. And I certainly don't want to start a fight down here.
Yeah, me either. I do want to look around.
Hey, I like my tank tops, right?
Uh-huh.
I got you something. I hope it's okay.
You
And I
got
hold
me
out
something?
a little bag. Mm-hmm.
What? You got me a gift?
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought of you. I saw it and I thought of you. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, okay? And you don't have to use it, or you can, whatever. It can just go in a box or whatever. It's
I
fine.
open it. What is in this bag?
It's a tank top that on the front has an orange oval like a portal, and on the back has a blue oval like the other side of a portal. Because like sort of it's like that game, but you do sort of that, and I just thought I don't.
I put it on right now.
Oh my goodness.
And I give him a big hug. And I'm just like, it's been a long time since anyone got me a gift.
Okay, well,
Thanks.
it's just because teamwork, and I think you're pretty cool, and you had good ideas, and I feel bad about back at the mall that we were kind of rushing, and let's go keep an eye on Jinx.
Sounds good. Sounds good, pal. Thank
Hey,
you.
You're welcome.
This is great. I'm gonna find you something cool.
No,
I'm
you
gonna
don't
go
have
look
to.
around. No, this is great. I love this.
Okay.
This feels good. This feels good.
Yes, he says with shoulders up to his ears.
When you all go back outside to find Jinx, she has like a container of cupcakes, and she's like, "Okay, these are like the best cupcakes in all of Halcyon. Just take one. Just trust me. Just take it."
Yes, ma'am. And I'll take it from her.
Sure.
They are, in fact, the best. The flavor shifts to be like whatever your favorite sweet is. Like they're magical cupcakes. They're
Ooh.
amazing.
Okay, yeah. Oh, all right. Can we get where was the is this right over here? I'm gonna get a box of these for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. And as the two of you continue your shopping adventure, we turn back to Vex and Synthesis, who are due for the meeting with Oversight and have not heard back from Codex and Sable, who, can't use their cell phones.
So I was kind of joking before about them not being with the meeting with us, but it's in like 7 minutes.
Well, I guess we can always fill them in on what we talk about.
Yeah.
I hope they're having fun.
I mean, Magic Market.
I know.
What do you picture?
Kind of like that scene from Hellboy.
Oh. Man, I gotta get, like, my first thought is the guy who sells items in Super Mario Brothers 2, and that's not good. It's just like a little curtain and like 3 floating things.
I thought you'd be way more imaginative than that.
Yeah. Me too.
Do you think they're gonna... We racked up kind of a bill here. Can we just teleport and leave? Do you just do this?
No.
No?
I pay my...
Damn it.
Wait, damn it.
No, sorry, what? No. I don't have enough money for this.
Did you want to dine and dash?
What better opportunity to do it than when you're dining with a teleporter?
Listen, the thing you have to be aware of, and I put my hand out, is that when people... and I vanish us.
I love it. It happens.
We can never go back there.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it was really good.
That is the best place that I have found on the planet for that specific food.
All right, so where are we?
Yeah.
Yeah, so the address is you're at it's basically a row of kind of they're like brownstone-esque houses basically, but they're not really nice. They're the older ones in the city. They're all kind of cramped together. And you're outside the one that the number is that sorry, you're outside the one with the number that was on the address that Oversight had given you. It's like dusk, so it's starting to get dark outside. And right as you're teleporting in, you notice, and I think we gotta have that dramatic eyes meeting panel. You see Ice and Dice walking out of the door in his civilian identity, which of course Synthesis recognizes because he tips terribly.
Hot dick.
He doesn't he's just gonna try to play this off though, and turns to just start walking away.
Yeah, I'll let him.
And as he walks away, you both see a woman kind of leaning in the shadow of the doorway. She looks probably early 20s, has long black brown hair, Hispanic, And you can kind of just like recognize same build as Oversight, all of that. She's in regular clothes right now, though. She doesn't, I mean, sometimes she can be that extra, but she's not being that extra right now. uh, and just she's like, "You're missing two, aren't you?"
Yeah. They're off right now checking on some other people to see how far this has already spread.
I guess you are actually useful. And she turns and like just gestures for you to come in.
Okay.
Okay.
When you enter, it's like, okay, so the living room has been converted to just basically a giant conspiracy board. So like we see kind of that board that was getting referenced on the cover. There's pictures of like a bunch of different both villains and heroes. There's a whole section that's like missing or like, you know, hasn't been seen in so long, with like a bunch of pictures tacked up. There's a bunch of articles about like Calum, you know, we got the red string going everywhere. There's a bunch of like paper files that have evidently been stolen from Visionary over time, kind of crowding the space. There's some older laptops around because this is not a well-funded operation. This is a grassroots operation. So you know, it's clear that like a lot of time and energy is being put into this. There's a bunch of coffee cups that are empty sitting around. You can smell like coffee that has been going basically all day. So, you know, that kind of burnt smell coming from the kitchen, which is a bit further back. And there are some stairs going up that she currently has like blocked off with like basically a dog gate. Um, and she turns to you and I am a good host. Would you like anything to drink? I basically have water and coffee.
I'm okay.
I'm fine, thank you.
All right. And she like moves some of the files so that like there's somewhere to sit, basically. We get like a chair and part of the couch cleared. And she just sits on top of one of the stacks of files so that like she's over by the board. And then she looks at Vex and's like, "So you said you had questions."
Maybe I don't have questions as much as some new strings for your board.
All right. And like she just like reaches behind the board and just pulls out like, you know, it's like a big thing of like red embroidery thread, basically.
So, and I'm gonna try to draw it as well as I can from memory, but I try to sketch the little like the little virus looking thing. Um, so this is what it looks like. This is what I pushed out of the orator's head. This is what I saw a drawing of on Caleb's desk. Do you know if Caleb has powers?
Um,
Sorry, let me rephrase that. Do you know that Caleb has powers?
I'm aware.
Okay.
And she takes the drawing from you and like push pins it up next to Caleb and like puts like a string to like Dr. Tanner, a string to like what she has labeled as like the supercomputer, and like a string to Caleb.
What we're trying to figure out now is that was inside of Shadow. Names tonight. Manta Shadow Core. Shadow.
Night Mira.
Night Mira?
Thank you. Good lord. Yes,
Shadow
Night Mira.
Shadow
Shadow Core.
I mean, Shadow Core is not bad.
That's
Workshopping it.
yeah, it's a work in progress, like my memory for names. The Guardians were all there when we defended, and that's what they're kind of checking on now to see if they've been infected with this, because we talked to the orator and he was infected, it seems, hours after being captured. and I will describe to her how, because there's really not much to tell, but it's, hey, you're being injected with this thing and it'll make you feel better. Now you're having auditory hallucinations, and now you're having new thoughts, but they feel like your thoughts. And I really think the other thing that I have to tell them is just it. Everyone describes it as there's a thought. It feels like it's your thought. And when I was able to push it out of the order, it was like someone else's consciousness in there that went out. Like, that's the part that I hit and pushed it out. So it's like whatever this thing is, I don't know if it's like a transmitter. But it wasn't physical, but yet it was.
She nods, like listening intently as you're talking. Kind of like making some. She'd like grabbed one of the laptops and started making some notes. Well, that all sounds about what I would expect, though they're farther along than I was expecting them to be at this point. I don't know what they got their hands on to accelerate the development this much. And she looks at the board and looks back at you. Do you know where the orator is right now?
No, but we do have a way to get a hold of him. I mean,
Okay.
not on us, but we do have it.
Well, I'm sure he'll show up. He's not very good at staying quiet.
Apparently, he hangs out at the magic market. Do you? I don't. Apparently, Vex and I can't go, but
We haven't been.
I really wouldn't recommend anyways. If you're not a magic, I've gone once. It's not a good time if you don't have some magic or something to protect you from magic.
Okay. Well, I'm sure the orator will turn up.
Oh, almost assuredly, or we'll use your way to get in contact. Hmm. And she kind of like is just like tapping her fingers against the laptop, and then she turns back to the two of you. So, if the Guardians are infected, which I'm going to go ahead and say they are, because Caleb's not thoughtless, I'm sure he wouldn't have passed up the opportunity to do so. What's your plan?
There's got to be, at least by Codex's line of thinking, that there's some back door, that there's got to be some way to force this out other than just a telepathic attack, because that won't work on all of them. But if we could free some of the other heroes that would believe us, then we might have a fighting chance.
I don't know who's going to help you. I mean, I ended up on this side of the line because I couldn't get any hero to listen to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if we can rescue some of the Guardians.
Yeah, like the orator, he knew.
Once we got it out of him, he knew exactly what had happened and what was and wasn't under his control.
So that probably means we have to wait to free anybody till they do something they wouldn't normally do.
I hate that you said that, but that seems right. So what? We just wait for them to attack something?
I mean, maybe we don't start with the heroes. there's a chance the villains that they've been making them do stuff they wouldn't normally do already, like the orator attack. Why would I attack this thing? That's not in my normal MO. There might be a better chance of maybe we could look up like villains' old patterns, ones that we think have been affected by this, and see what they've done most recently and see if it doesn't match the pattern. Codex could see the pattern if it's there.
Okay, so we just start rescuing villains. I'm sorry, and I turned to Oversight. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it that way.
Oversight just shrugs and she's like, oh, trust me, it's better than my idea. You wouldn't like mine.
What's your idea?
And she clicks on something on her computer and turns it around. And you see a molecule that looks not exactly the same as the vision, but even for like the two of you who are not like as into the complex mathematics and everything as Codex, you can tell is similar. And then she says, I'm not going to get into all of the everything behind this, but this is basically a rough mapping of my powers. Theoretically, I could go ahead and go push one of your heroes to do something they wouldn't do.
I don't hate that idea. I'll be kind of blunt. I like it more than freeing some villains that we're not sure would help us anyway.
Yeah, or waiting around who knows how long for Visionary to pull those puppet strings.
Yeah. I
But
think
what is it going to take for them to believe that it's something bad enough that they need to truly take down Visionary, which continues to pipe money and resources into Halcyon? I mean, you know them better than I do, but I tried talking to them once when I first got out of there, and they didn't listen to me then. I don't expect them to listen to me now either.
Yeah, I don't know.
Honestly, I'd have a lot more fun if you could just get this injected in Caleb and make him destroy himself. That'd be more entertaining for me, but...
I'm sorry, what?
Look, part of this is a personal vendetta, okay? You get this into Caleb, I'll make him destroy himself, I'll get everyone who's wrongly imprisoned free, and I'll let you manage the cleanup.
So you think Caleb might be the back door? That whatever it is that's happening, if he's not there, it doesn't work.
Well, even if he's not, it's either him or the supercomputer, which Dr. Tanner is directly integrated with. You can consider them basically the same entity. Take one out, the other will go down. Well, not really. If you take Dr. Tanner out, the supercomputer won't go down. They can just put Dr. Tanner in another shell. Caleb is most direct access to the supercomputer, as Caleb did code the supercomputer.
I think we have to have a chat about this.
Yeah.
Well, don't take too long. You're not my only irons in the fire. Look, I'm stopping this one way or another, and I'd love to do it a nice way that doesn't see the city go down in flames in the process, but it's happening.
Sparkling conversation like this, it's no wonder my brother's team didn't listen to you.
Oh, my conversation with them was much more polite. It was much more, let me talk to you about how Visionary held me against my will for 3 years and used my powers against me and used my sequencing to create this whole evil, mind-controlling virus that they're going to use to take control of humanity. But yeah, no, nobody really wants to listen to a little girl when she talks about that now, do they?
They didn't even look into it?
No.
That seems...
Visionary pays everybody off. So yeah, I got a little bit of a vendetta and a little bit of a chip in my shoulder.
Yeah. All right. We'll try to be quick.
Good luck to you.
You too.
And thank you for the information. If I get anything that's useful for you, I'll send it your way.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, we'll leave. I guess go wait at the party barn.
Party barn.
Party barn.
Oh.
Fetch the kegs.
All right, back to Codex and Sable. So do you look for anything else major at the Magic Market, or do you mostly just have a good time?
I think I am kind of keeping an eye out for like where this amulet came from.
Ooh, let's see. Would you like to... Actually, I think you're able to find it. I think you're able to find, like, there is kind of this stall. It's a little out of the way, like it's kind of tucked back in there a little bit, but you're looking at everything. I think the reason why it grabs your attention is like you can, like, I assume you still have the amulet on you because you said you put it like in a pocket or something.
Yeah, it's just like
yeah, like you feel like a little bit of a pull
Hmm.
from the amulet towards it.
Yeah, I want to follow that pole.
When you approach, there's not a large stock of stuff at this stall. There's like, a belt, maybe like a gauntlet, a few wands, that sort of thing. And the person sitting next to the stall kind of just has their feet up, they're reading a book. And it's not even like, they're just like straight up reading like a young adult novel or something. They're not reading anything that's like, oh, look at me, I'm being smart and doing research. They're not even trying. They look up at you. They have like naturally orange hair that's pulled back in like a messy brain. And mismatched eyes. One is green and the other is black. And they're like, "Can I help you?"
Yeah, I'm looking for some information on an item that I believe you might have sold.
They close the book and lean forward, kind of like looking you up and down. What item would that be? I don't remember selling anything to you.
Oh no, I haven't been here yet, but okay, so here's the thing. I have this friend and they bought this like amulet off this guy who just would not stop talking. And he was talking about how he didn't want to really get rid of it and it was so precious and special and just think of a lot of words that mean the same thing as those. He said all of them. But he didn't really quite tell my friend what it did. Just said that got it at the magic market at this stall from this like super cute person with orange hair. So I just figured like this is probably where it came from.
Yeah.
But like my friend was not like looking past. I think maybe they just got kind of clouded by the words. It didn't actually find out what this thing does, just that it's supposed to be really special and spent so much money on it. And I figured I was here, I might as well try and track down this attractive orange-haired person and see if I could help my friend out and get some information.
Roll to provoke someone to see if they'll tell you what this amulet does.
Okay. What is that with?
With superior.
Superior, okay. 9.
Codex, you are around if you want to bring that up to a 10. Somehow, somewhat.
Yeah, absolutely. What is the best way here? I think I'm doing like pure subtlety. Like I am looking around at the stuff in this shop. Obviously I've kind of got my gear and my magic gauntlets and my things like I feel like I fit in a little bit more here in the way that like when somebody's going to buy a car but they don't know much about cars and so they bring the car person. So I think I'm just this reinforcement of like, if we get some good information, I really might spend some money in here kind of vibe.
All right. So they kind of look at Codex, who's with you, and then they like glance back at Jinx, who followed you all too, because Jinx is done with her shopping. It's just kind of tagging along now. And then they sigh and they're like, one, I know you're talking about the orator. He never shuts up. Honestly, I halfway sold it to him just to get him to leave me alone.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. Anyways, it's a bit of something between like a amplifier and a generator. It not only will take existing power, and this doesn't just have to be magic, it could be electricity, it could be heat, it could be kinetic energy, it could be whatever you really want it to be, whatever you focus it on. And it takes that and it will, times 10, times 20, whatever you kind of put into it. It's not always totally, stable on how much it'll put out. This is one of those bit more of an art than a science. Not all magic's like that, but my artifacts are. As to the generator part, it will also, if you consistently use the same type of energy with it, continue to generate its own of it. Therefore, kind of store up its own, treat it like a battery. That means you can sometimes use it in a pinch when you can't use your power in your own general sense. However that might be, just tap the stone in the middle, it'll do its thing.
That's pretty damn cool. What was your name?
Oh God, not person. No, I should have been prepared.
I'm sorry, I'm so bad at that. I was like, you described him, and I'm like, I cannot.
I'm gonna go with Skylar. Skylar feels like a good name for this person.
That feels good.
I'm Skylar.
Excellent. Well, I'm Sable. It's really great to meet you. Like I said, this is my first time down here, but I definitely plan on coming back and would love to check out the rest of the things you're offering here.
Yeah, I might even have something that'll work with your pack there. Not everyone here likes to deal with the tech as well, but I think it's a bit more of a challenge. It's a bit more fun.
I agree. Oh, I like you. I will definitely be back. Thanks for the information. Appreciate it.
No problem. And they sit back down, put their legs because basically they just have their feet up like on the corner of their stall. They have the type of clientele that comes to them. They don't like try to bring in clientele basically and just go back to reading their book.
I think as we leave, I say to Codex, I go, did you catch all that?
Yeah, for the most part. That seems like it has a lot of different application possibility.
Sure does. I think I take the amulet out of my pocket and I take his hand and I put it in there and I go, there's your present.
Oh.
Codex.
You are going to get a lot more use out of this than I will.
As it gets slammed down into your hand, you feel like a pull of gravity from it. No, you feel like it has its own well of gravity within it.
Whoa, okay.
Because it's been getting held by somebody who's been using a gravity pack.
Do I just go straight to the ground?
No, you don't, but you can tell that that's what it's been generating. It's been generating its own gravity within itself for the last 5 days or so.
Oh my gosh. I think the rest of the walk out of here is just galaxy braining possibilities to use that.
And then we come back to the calculus of black holes again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think are you good here? Are you ready to go?
Yes. I think so.
Once once we're back, I have something else I want to talk to you about.
Of course, anything.
And I think I'm like looking around for Jinx, and I'm like, but once we get back.
Okay.
So Jinx leads the two of you out and leads you back through the weird maze of the subway tunnels. You wouldn't find your way out without her. Codex, she's like, I'll teach you later. It's been a really long day and I don't have the energy right now.
Well, yeah, we can. Yeah, absolutely. We can hang out later. I would like that. I would like us if that happened to us.
She does exactly that. She is that person. And as the three of you like surface back not too far from the base, she kind of like pauses for a moment, and there's like a bit of a small like crack, like we're just like that small like little crack noise in the background, and she looks at the two of you and she's like, did you hear that?
Yeah, just now?
Yeah, like the tiniest. And then there's like a larger one that's a lot closer.
Oh, yep, heard that.
Yeah.
And that's followed by like this like basically we see in the middle of the street like this sort of like crack in the like air basically start to form, like glass cracking, and it parts and somebody steps out of it. He's about average height. He has like olive skin, dark hair. There's some scarring along the side of his face, and he's just wearing pretty regular clothes and he looks really pissed off, and he's looking towards Jinx, and he is just like, oh, what do I want his dramatic entrance to be? Oh yeah, I think what he says as he steps out is he's like, I told you last time we weren't done. And she looks over her shoulder. She's like, the two of you might want to run. What do you do?
Is he trying to hurt
Clearly
you?
about to attack her. Very clearly about to attack her. This is clearly a villain. This is clearly about to be a fight in the middle of the street.
Reality storm, baby.
I'm about to like turn and run, and I look and I see Codex, and I'm like, "There's no way he's leaving her here." All right, let's do this.
Oh no!
I turn
The
back
hood
around
is
and
flowing. I am floating up off the ground. The fucking rocks on the pavement are shaking.
I just go, and then I hit my graph pack, and I am also floating off the ground, but like less dramatically.
Just kind of hanging there. Huh?
Yeah. All right, let's
Eating a
do
candy
this.
bar.
All right. What are you doing with your reality storm?
So I think the closest thing to this that I've ever done was like lashing out with my magic in a bigger way than I ever had before. And I think that's part of what, in that original fight when we met, what hurt Sable. And I haven't touched anything like this since. But nah. As this guy is rushing forward, all of those runes sort of crystallize. They coalesce around and then in front of me with these jagged, sharp edges, and they start to it's like almost like ice growing, but instead it's this golden energy with the green glowing off of them. And it gets bigger and bigger and bigger as I add and add and add, and then just hurl this boulder of magic at this guy.
All right, go ahead and roll your reality storm.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's just directly engaged with Freak, right?
Yep.
So you still have a -2 from being afraid.
Yep. Go. Oh, Jesus. 7.
All right, so on a 7 to 9, you get to pick one: resist or avoid, take something from them, create an opportunity, impress, surprise, or frighten.
I think the latter. Impress, surprise, or frighten.
All right, so we see that magic go hurtling. We have like this nice 2-page spread. Um, and we get like the little text box under this villain. His name's Fragmentation. Um, and like it just totally like sucker punches Fragmentation because he was not even looking at you. He had not even acknowledged your existence yet. And it sends him like reeling back. And if he hadn't like quickly closed up his dimension gap that he came through, it would have sent him right back through it. And when he looks up, we have like that little bit of like, like wiping the side of his mouth sort of thing. And he gets like a bit of a wicked smile on his face, and he was like, "Oh, good. We have oh, good, you brought friends with you this time." And in return, like he slams the road, and the whole road starts to just like spider web crack. And as it gets close to you, you feel like this energy surge up through your legs. I'd like you to roll to take a powerful blow.
Ooh, okay. Plus conditions. Okay. Well, now I've got the advantage. Boy, do I. That's another 13.
Oh, baby.
Oof.
That's not great.
All right. So choose one from the fun list. You can remove yourself from the situation. You can lose control of yourself or your powers, or you can just choose 2 options from the 7 to 9 list.
Oh, shit. Man. Oh no. I I've got to lose control. This is
All
what I
right.
promised I wouldn't do, and I got blindsided. That makes the most sense.
All right. Do you want to describe how you lose control, or do you want me to describe how you lose control?
If you have an idea, go for it.
I
But
don't necessarily have an idea, so if you do, I'm all ears.
Okay, well, I already did not spend the extra burn from Reality Storm. So there's already a little unwanted collateral damage. So what I think happens is this like boulder hits him, and then it has like scattered as it does after it knocks him back. So all of this excess magic, it's almost like shrapnel crashing all around and out from him in this arc. It's hitting the buildings, the sidewalks, whatever's there. And then on top of that, when they hit, each one of those pieces of shrapnel is also like another smaller magical burst. They're like their own little, miniature grenades that start just wreaking havoc in every direction.
Ooh, and to take this a bit further, Jinx was super focused on fragmentation, so she didn't see one going for her. So like that gets her hit and knocked down onto the ground. So not only did she get hit by that, but because she's no longer floating, she then gets hit by his fragmentation's energy burst on the ground. And then we turn our page and we're back to the party barn. And Vex, your phone is ringing with a call from your brother.
I hold it out so that Synthesis can see it before sliding my finger to answer it.
Speakerphone, speakerphone.
Hello.
Vex, no time to talk. Jinx just let me know that she and your 2 teammates are getting attacked. They're near the base. You need to get you and your other teammate there quickly.
Oh, okay.
He can make dimensions like now.
Yeah, I reach out and touch Synthesis and teleport us to the front of the base, like outside.
So our final page is the two of you arriving on the scene. We see Jinx like trying to push herself back up. But like both those hits took a lot out of her. She's down on the ground. We have Codex and Sable on one side of Fragmentation, Synthesis and Vex on the other, and we see like all of these sort of like jagged bits start to appear around the edge as he appears to be pulling you into your own little pocket dimension. And in the bottom right corner, we see to be continued.
Oh dear.
That was the special surprise for later.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Well,
that's so good.
well,
Into
shit.
session time.
Mm. Oh god, we have to choose these. This is the hardest part.
Well, mine's pretty easy. I think that I grew closer to the team, and it was rough getting there, but I feel like Vex and I got there.
Yeah.
But you already have influence over me, so you get to shift my labels. But then I also get to, I'm gonna clear a condition. I'm gonna clear Afraid.
What are your labels?
Sure, I'm at Danger 0, Freak -1, Savior 2, Superior 1, Mundane 1.
Go up Superior and down, I think down Mundane.
Yeah, okay. That's fair. We did teleport, dine, and dash.
I also am going to grow closer to the team. I think just truly from Codex's perspective, the thought of like taking a leap to get just some minor thing for Sable and her not just thinking it was ridiculous and weird was huge. Like that was a big step for him, and just that she was not only open to that but excited about it was like a tears in eyes relief. Yeah. So that you obviously, I think you already have influence anyway, right?
Yeah, I think I always have.
And I think I'm gonna clear a condition. I think it only makes sense right now to clear Afraid. Yeah, I feel like that has welled up in him that right now there's work to do.
And I cleared Afraid as well, Landon.
All right.
I'm also going to grow closer to the team. Although I think, like, I'm actually going to give it to Codex because when, like, this huge, ugly conversation started, Codex was like, well, yeah, to be fair, we don't know anything about you. And, like, that was the one time that it felt like someone came to Vex's defense in that. And so... like obviously things are better with Synthesis now, but I think that initial moment that made me not just run away was Codex.
Hey,
One day I'll have influence over you. One day.
Do you not have influence over me anymore? Oh, I would. You know what? And this might be backwards. I did tell everybody about a weakness. I realize that is my my team move, but
oh,
You can also give people influence whenever you want.
okay, yeah. I mean, I think that she has it now. Like having given a sincere apology.
yeah, fair.
My labels are Danger 1, Freak 0, Savior -1, Superior 3, Mundane 0.
I'm inclined to. You said Superior's the one at 3?
Yeah.
I'm inclined to bump Savior and take Superior down.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, as odd as it sounds, like I know that's not exactly what the stat is, but kind of saving the day with finding that critical information in that meeting was big. Yeah, anyway, that's what I think.
Okay.
Does Sable, do you get to move mine too?
I don't know, do I? I'm not. I can never remember how my stuff differs from
Yeah.
Yes.
you guys. With
Sable,
Okay.
since you already had influence over Codex, you would get to move Codex's labels. Sorry,
Okay.
I must have like glazed over for a moment.
No, that's good.
It's been a Monday.
What are you at, Tass?
I'm at 111 plus 2 minus 2.
Okay. I think I'm gonna move. I'm gonna move your savior up
Okay.
and I think freak down.
Okay.
And then likewise, I think that getting a present from somebody was very big for Sable. I think this was kind of one of the first times where like she felt like, hey, we're friends, you know, not just teammates and we hang out together because we work together, but like you went out of your way to buy me a present from like a game that like has something to do with like what I do, like not like abilities or anything, but like this is kind of what I'm about. And it was very like thoughtful and you were very awkward about it, but it was so nice that like I think it was hard for her to stay like to kind of keep the like persona of like keeping her emotions in check like she usually does. It's very difficult for her to keep that going. So I'm gonna give that to Codex. I don't think he has influence over me, right?
No, so does that mean I get influence over you?
Yeah.
And I get to clear something, right?
Or you can mark potential.
Ooh. I think I'm gonna take potential because I want it.
Roll a 13 on that. Can take a powerful blow. I'm like, yeah. Oh.
All right, so I think that's everybody. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Looking forward to next week where we can have a big fight.
Big fight. All right, Kim, what do you got for us?
All right. So first of all, thank you to Veller Fricative for the bits, Amtrak for the resub, and I'm a T-Rex Amanda for the gift sub. Super appreciate it. Looking ahead to the rest of the week. Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern, Rev and I are going to be hanging out and doing a listen through of season 1, episode 3 of The Other Side of the Coin. We've been having a lot of fun listening to the episodes and Rev providing sort of a behind the scenes commentary and answering chat questions. It's been super fun.
So much happened in 2. I
So
would
much
have
happened.
sworn stuff in 2 wasn't until 3 or 4.
Yeah, so we're going to be diving right back in with episode 3, and I can't wait to see what happens. It's been a while since I've listened to
see what
those
happens
episodes.
because obviously I don't exactly remember what falls in what episode.
Exactly. Thursday, the 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern, Megan and I are going to be here with Mystery Detectives. We're going to be doing part 2 of Nancy Drew, The Deadly Device. The costume theme is electricity. Last week, Megan dressed up as Pikachu and I dressed up as the Bride of Frankenstein. So we took that theme in drastically different directions.
They're in the same universe. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, of course, join us right back here for episode 6 of the Omniverse Chronicles Masks. I can't wait. Pocket dimensions. Who knows? We'll find out what that means. Let's see. Ooh, speaking of tank tops, I should have been plugging this in chat while Tass was buying Megan a tank top. You can get your very own Codex tank top on sale in our merch store, and it's going to be a limited time only through while we're running masks. So you only have a few more weeks to get that tank top. Please go do that. We need. I'm a big proponent of tank tops, so more people just sleeves are bullshit. So wear a tank top.
Can we get a tank top that says that, please?
I think there is one.
Oh, good.
And then we are also the season 3 Q&A episode of Coin is almost upon us. So if you have questions about season 3 of our main show, go ahead and email them to us at thecastthecritshowpodcast.com, or you can use the contact us form on our website. Get those questions into us by July 2nd, and we'll be answering those on the what date is that? Is that the 28th? Yeah, we'll be answering them on our July 28th episode. So you have a few weeks to get those questions in, or to catch up if you haven't yet listened to all of season 3. Anything else?
Get us those questions.
Send us your questions.
Do it now. Don't wait till the last second. All the good questions may be taken. That's not really how that works.
That's not how it works.
No, I think that's everything.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you, Landon. As always, amazing. And we will see you, if nothing else, then next week for episode 6 of the Omniverse Chronicles. Bye.
Good night, everybody.
Oh my god, what happened?